So, Carlos, you started as a network technician before becoming a CCIE, essentially.
Yes, well, I will say I started like network technician. I was helping the principal engineer and the guys that were under him. Very basic job, but I started to because I was when I just finished the university. I only had maybe 21 years old. Back in those days, that was completely new to me. Like talking about uh, RIP, OSPF, outer switching. I was more familiar with circuits, with
Okay.
Microsoft, Linux, Unix, but I didn't touch too much networking when I was
Okay.
studying, only at home, right? But then there I had the opportunity to touch switches, routers, PBX also.
So, for people who don't know what is a PBX.
Well, that was the before Voice over IP, private branch exchange.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong because
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's
just
so long.
stopped working with PBX in 2006
Hmm.
when before I joined Amena, a former Spanish service provider that became Orange, and they moved from Ericsson MD 110 to Cisco Call Manager 4.1. But anyway, back into your question. I was learning how to set up access ports, how to troubleshoot very basic stuff with guys with a lot of knowledge, and that brings me the opportunity to explore IP protocol, routing, and I was one night searching online and about Cisco because I didn't know too much about Cisco and one I think is was not like today was completely different. The way that you were searching on was not Google,
Yahoo,
was
probably.
Alta Vista,
Out of this.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Was completely different. So to keep it shorted, I found an online library book. I put Cisco and I found CCNA, and then I started to investigate. Well, what is CCNA? And then I asked those guys, can you tell me what is Cisco, CCNA? Oh no, Cisco, look at this. Router are Cisco, those one are Motorola. And I bought my Cisco book, was like a Bible, like maybe $1. And I did the CCNA course, the first two modules. I passed it, the modules, right, not the certification.
Oh, okay, the training. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my first job was basically scholarship, was just 3 month job, and during that time I sent some CVs. So I at the end of the after 3 months this this bank offered me a role, but also I was doing some other interviews and I got an offer at the same time to move to join a service provider. And but the role was completely different. The role was about mobile networks. So more, I will say more telecommunications back in those days,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No IT. Pure telecommunications was about 1G networks, still some analogic networks, radios, completely different. But it's true that I was more curious. I was like, "Ooh, I would like to stay because they offered me to learn routing and switching." But on the other hand, wow, money is good, right? With 20 years old, I'm studying after 5 years, 4 years. Yeah, that sounds attractive that someone wants to pay you more.
Yeah.
So I decided to move to mobile networks, which I don't regret, but at the same time, yes, because I think I passed the CCIE in 2025. Maybe if I move or I stay
In that path.
in the path, maybe I could be now double CCIE or triple. Or
Yeah.
maybe I could just pass the CCIE in 2011. But because of that, I moved from mobile networks to voice over IP engineer, which is completely different than networking NDC engineer. You have very basic networking and stuff to work like VLANs, some routing protocols, but Not like if you are working 8 hours per day on networking or on DC. So I work on until 2020 on unified communications, collaboration. I had the opportunity to work 1 year in Cisco, and in Cisco I taught UCS Class B. That was my first exposure with DC.
Could you explore a little bit on what is UCS?
Unified computer system.
System.
This is the product that's, well, one of the products that Cisco has in their data center portfolio that you can abstract, create virtual machines from physical resources. So on top you can install a VMware hypervisor or a Cisco HyperFlex. So the reason that I was using UCS Class B is because back in those days I was part of Cisco hosted collaboration solution team for a big service provider in Spain. The core, say in order to install the HCS, you need to install, well, back in those days, UCS Class V, on top Nexus 1000V, which has been decommissioned a while ago, then VMware, and then the application on top, which is Cisco hosted collaboration solution, which is basically UCaaS. Is the cloud solution for Cisco for unified communication. And I continue working in UC, and in 2017 I decided to move abroad, and I started to look into roles abroad. I found some offers to move to France or the Czech Republic, and I decided to move to Prague in February 2018 as a voice UC senior engineer. I moved to Verizon, Czech Republic, which is part of Verizon US, the enterprise division, and in 2020, during the pandemic, I started to think that I need to do something different because I don't see motivation anymore doing voice. Also, I feel like voice is moving to the cloud. You see, is transitioning to an app, an application service. Maybe there are guys doing voice that will start saying, this guy,
Okay, so
I don't agree with him. Yes.
Before you make this transition, so you learned about networking, you did the CCNA, you started CCNA, you passed the trainings, and then you start to work in telecommunication, essentially, mobile networks, and then you kept working in voice space, right?
Yes.
For a couple of years.
Yes, and the CCNA, sorry for interrupting you, I passed it in 2009 because there was a big gap when I was working as a mobile engineer. I was working for almost 4 years. Then I started again from scratch as a just operator. I moved again to voice, but this time as a voice over IP with Cisco, with routers. So I had the opportunity now to pass the CCNA. So that was my first challenge, the CCNA. And if you ask me after the CCNA what was the challenge, I became CCNP voice in the same year. Because in 2009 I had already almost 5 years of UC voice over IP experience.
Okay.
So it was not new to me. Back in those days, I mean, you didn't need to know a lot about switching. With CCNA was enough. It was more about voice protocols, SIP, HC23, MGCP,
RSTP,
skinny protocols, ATAs, call manager, Unity, and so on and so forth. So, yes, I passed CCNA in 2009. Then I moved to a CCNP track. The same year I became CCNP voice. Then I passed CCNP wireless, CCDA,
Why
some
did you
other,
decide to take those certifications?
because there was a big economic crash in 2009 in Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and when I was uh, senior engineer, voice engineer in 2010, I had a conversation with my boss, and he said to me, "Look, I cannot hold you. Maybe in 3 months, I will not need you. I recommend you to move to another job." And then I found a job as a level
Mm.
3, L2, L3 support, and I used to receive in my queue 90% of voice UC tickets, but
Okay.
also wireless. And because of that, I decided to study wireless. And I'm a curious guy. I like to pass study certification. I think that that's beneficial.
Yeah.
That help contribute to put your CV more, like
Yeah. You.
improve
Yeah. Yeah.
your CV, and as well as it helps you on a daily basis. So when I passed the CNN wireless, it really helped me to solve some wireless ticket that I got in my queue. So then in 2014, Cisco, oh, sorry, 12 I believe, when Cisco moved to UCM version 8, no, 9th, then Cisco decided to virtualize. So instead of installing the UCM into a server,
Mm-hmm.
it was different. Now you will create a virtual machine running on a Hyper-V. Then you will install Cisco Call Manager, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, I study VMware, and I decided to learn about VMware stuff. And because of that, when I joined Cisco, that really helped me to in my daily work, because it was maybe 40% VMware.
Hmm.
We did a lot of vMotion stuff offline during non-working hours to test that everything works during peak periods or during
Okay.
an outage. I I think studying certification or the blueprint helps. You don't need to do the exam if you don't
Yeah.
want, or you don't have the budget, but it really helps.
One can at least study and learn the topics, the technology, replicate in the lab if it has a lab or not. But don't focus on getting the certification, but to get the knowledge. That's what you mean.
Yes, yes, getting the knowledge. And I think when I was telling you about this job that I decided to move to the mobile network path, I was really young. That was a mistake. I choose the money, but I think when you are, if you want to pass CCNP, for me, it's not about the money. If you
Okay.
think that, no, I want to pass the CCIE just because you want to get more money, you're gonna suffer a lot. Maybe you're gonna give up, because you need to really like to study, love what you are doing, because you need to sacrifice a lot of things, personal stuff,
And we're going
everything.
to talk a lot of this in a moment, but money shouldn't be the focus at the beginning of your career. Okay, so this is something very interesting, is that you have to evaluate the market, how it is at the moment, right? Whether you're getting opportunity, whether the market is going in the direction that you want, whether there are opportunities related with the thing that you know, and try to adapt yourself. So you decided to, okay, I have this situation in Spain, I'm going to move abroad. What are some of the things that one have to evaluate when planning to relocate to a different country? What are the things that you had to evaluate, like I probably should go, or I want to go, or it's just I wake up and now I'm going to Prague, I'm going to France?
Good question, because I got an offer to move to Paris, and salary was quite good, and the offer to Prague was not bad, but maybe more for, maybe someone will maybe select the French one, right? But I think I speak French, so for me, easy. it's not difficult. Well, French, I have maybe B1 level, not bad. So for me, it wouldn't be difficult to move to France, but then I was looking for what are my hobbies when I close my PC. I like to travel. I really like Berlin, the city of Berlin, and it's not far from Prague. I like photography, and yes, Paris is beautiful, but then the Czech Republic has many things that I like. It's near Berlin, near Poland. I like the history, especially the Second World War. So for me, Poland is quite interesting. I've been there many times, and Prague also as well. Berlin, more than Paris for me. I'm not saying that Paris is not a nice place to live, but Prague is a really calm place, really safe, and I was looking to live in a calm place. The public transport works well, but when you guide, maybe you wants to move, I think you need to think if you will be integrated in that country. If you move, if you will like the culture, because maybe you will get a lot of money, but maybe you will not be happy. Mm-hmm. And I think now with your experience, maybe you will move more for money, right? Because you know your stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you are doing something interesting now. You are not just configuring access port, right? Or automating simple stuff. So I think you need to think what things beside your job makes you happy. Because
you'll be living there for some time.
Yeah, for sure. For me, unfortunately, Paris is not a safe place. So I was looking for
something that was aligned with your interest beside the job.
In a safe place.
In a safe place. And when you arrived there, in terms of work, of opportunities, did you already have like a company waiting for you, or you had to look at the market, what they have to offer?
Locally, I had a company waiting for me, like move with an offer letter. Mm-hmm. So right after I quit the Airbnb, when I got my keys, I went to the police to register myself and to request criminal records certificate. Every foreigner must provide this document to the HR, and pretty much that's it, because luckily I am a Spanish citizen, and apart from that you need a bank account and I think pretty much, but that was 8 years ago. I don't know now.
Yeah, you don't have all the details now.
Things have changed or not, but yes.
Okay, so you're there, you're working. What is happening professionally in your life? Like, you continue the studies, you're working in data center now, or still on voice?
Well, when I moved, I was collaboration engineer, senior. I got the role as a TDA, and I was involved. I was working for a big customer, more than 25,000 endpoints for across all the continents. So we have 4 clusters of Cisco Call Manager version. One day, during the weekend, I started to think I'm not really motivated. I'm doing my job, but this is very repetitive. I need something. I need to change. Then in 2020 was the boom of SD1, SDN. And then I said, let's try to move to SDN. And the good thing about Verizon is that I used to have a really good managers there. I had an honest chat with my manager. I said, look, I would like to move to a different role, like different technology. And he said, I will try to help you, but you don't have enough skills to move from senior to another senior role. And that was the start of nightmares, because I said, oh my God, yes, I'm 41, 42 almost. I will be if I move in a matter of days or months, I will not be senior anymore.
Okay.
So I need to mentally prepare that this will be hard. That will be hard. So in 2020, started the enterprise core exam, because anyway I need to renew my CCNP collaboration exam. I was lucky because one day my boss told me, well, we have an opportunity for you to move to another account and you will be doing routing and switching in a data center. And maybe you will have the opportunity to also work on SD1 projects. SCI project. And I said, wow, that sounds really, really, really good. Well, so I was senior, and after 2 months, I got my first project. That for you will sound really easy, but the project manager say you will migrate the DMZ core. You will migrate 350 ports from Catalyst to Nexus 9K, 4 switches interconnected between north and southbound. So you have 4 switches on top, 4 switches layer 2, 2 switches on top layer 3 in between, and then Palo Altos.
That's interesting.
No idea, no experience.
Man, that's exciting for me.
And it was a bank, really big bank, and I failed. I got many escalations. I started migration at 5 p.m. and I ended at 7 a.m. in the morning. And on morning I got several calls. What happened? Yes. And well, the girl, because it was a girl, I was making the cabling, moving the cables from the legacy to the new switches. She was super fast. She was moving cables in 20 minutes, everything. One switch was gone in 20 minutes. Please, check out. And I was really like, oh my God, what can I do? Well, and then after 1 hour, there is no service now in Singapore.
The cables to another switch.
And then I didn't migrate well. I didn't propagate the
VLANs
into the trunks.
Yeah.
No, it was no routing at the moment. It was just
layer 2.
Layer 2, but I didn't propagate all the VLANs.
Okay.
So the mess started. Calls, and I got escalation. And I said to myself, I cannot give up. I move forward. So I started to replicate some of the config in my lab. I started to read more, to check more videos, and to ask for some help. And after 3 months, I got the layer 3 switches, and I made it well.
That was a step of progress.
Yeah, there was still, the level of confidence was not high, but I felt, wow, I made it. And I was gradually getting more experience, more confidence, and that brought me to pass the NRC exam after 3 years. Because I had a colleague in Verizon, and he said, look, SD1, ACI sounds good, but if you don't have the base, you will fail. You will not understand how ACI works or how SD1 works. You need to build the underlay, and you need to build the overlay, and so on and so forth. And if you don't have a robust like core, if your house is...
support the infrastructure.
Yes. So, yes, I started with NRC, and I passed it after, I think, 12 months. I
studying NRC.
Yes. Maybe that was not a lot of time for other guys, but the thing is that maybe after being working more than 14 years in the industry and watching videos, because in 2012 I passed the switching exam. The CCNP switching exam was just focused on switching back in those days. So I had theory, right? I was not completely like green. No, but it was quite hard. Like the NRC was really intense, but really, really cool. I really enjoyed it. So I became CCNP, but then what?
Yes, it's
then
just
what?
a title.
Just a title, and I like challenges. So in 2022, I decided I want to do the CCIE.
You didn't want to keep your life at peace. You wanted to the problem.
No, maybe that's why I moved to Prague also, because Czech Czech language is so difficult.
Uh,
For non-Slavic, it's like a nightmare.
man. So you decide to start your journey. I'm going to become a CCIE because I want a new challenge.
Yes, basically, I want the challenge, and
Okay.
I think the CCIE. I thought, well, the CCIE will give me that knowledge that I need to go deep level into the technology, into the products that I need.
Okay.
I was not thinking about I will get more money. Was
It
more
was
about the
about the
challenge.
knowledge. Okay.
Yeah, it was about the knowledge. So after I became the CCMP, I joined KBIT
KB
SDN.
Lives.
No, and he also has a track like 1 week workshop
Mm-hmm.
on SDN DNA.
Yeah, that's Kawarbat for those who don't know.
Yeah. KBIT. So I did that course, but I still wanted to know more about switching and routing and switching, right? So in March 24, so after almost
2 years.
2 years, I joined Narvik Kosherian Bootcamp,
Mm.
Metronics,
Okay.
so for about 4 months, 3 months and a half, every Saturday from 5 p.m. until maybe 10 p.m. I was joining Narvik, which was
I was
the
aggressive.
aggressive, but the best decision
Mm.
I made because I learned a lot. With Narvik, joining the session and also offline because his workbooks are really good, really good. Even if you are CCIE now, you will learn a lot doing his workbooks because he really goes really low level, like really low level. Like you
Okay.
will many things you will not find it in Cisco Press.
Mm. Okay, that's
He
interesting.
really wants you to break your your brain and really think about how go out of the box, think out of the box. And so I was doing Arabic workbooks for about maybe 9 months, but my month almost every day, maybe 1 day off and a half per month, like
Mm.
1 day off. But I was doing Arabic almost every time. And
How long were you studying per day? Like in terms of hours, how was your structure? Do you
from Monday
remember?
to Friday, if I was busy, at least 3 hours per day.
At least.
At least. If I knew that, well, today is going to be an easy one at work, then 5 hours. As much as I can.
Okay.
As much as I can. Being persistent is really, I think, is key. If you want at least to go to the lab, to try the lab, because you need to masterize and a lot of topics. And I mean, you need to be fast in the lab, but it's not. You need to be fast, but you need to understand fast the question. I don't think that is. You need to be super fast because when I passed the lab, I did the lab in less than 4 hours.
Okay.
So,
So it depends the strategy. Okay.
well, yes, this is another topic, but you need to be fast for sure. But in order to be fast, you need to be persistent. You need to repeat a lot. You need to know your gaps, your weak points. Maybe you think that you know a lot of SPS, but maybe if you do Narvik workbooks, you will find out that no, I don't know a lot of
Yeah.
SPS.
And on weekends, how much time you were just studying?
Weekend was a really marathon. So from Saturday 9 a.m. probably until 9 p.m. with maybe 1 hour and a
Yeah.
half break.
Half breaks, but it was all day.
All day and Sunday 6 hours
Okay.
more or less.
Okay.
So during the week 18 hours, and if I was really in good form, maybe 20 hours.
That was a lot. And were you studying by yourself or you join a group? Oh.
Unfortunately, I started to. Initially, I meant to start to study with other guys, but this colleague, for some reason, he somehow disappeared, and I was studying on my own, which was kind of hard because it's more easy if you study with other people. Actually, I think that I failed the second time because I was studying on my own. I wasn't able to debate, discuss two questions that were completely burning myself in the lab. And I discovered all the things on my own just 1 week before, well, right after I failed the second time. When I went back from Brussels, I turned on my lab, my server, and I was try to reproducing one of the issues that I was facing. It took me a few days. I managed to find what was the issue. And the second lethal issue, I found it after 1 day before my last attempt. And all the time on my own because I didn't have like...
And how many attempts you tried?
3 attempts.
3. Okay. And so the first one, do you understand why you failed?
I think I failed. First of all, I was nervous.
Okay. So the emotional state?
Yeah, because the design portion, I think that format was like somehow like blocks me because that was the first time I saw such format.
Okay.
And maybe also, I'm doing the CCIE. I lost half an hour. Also, I didn't sleep at all. During the previous night, the DDO portion, I lost maybe 45 minutes.
Just reading?
Just reading and getting in touch with GUI. That I was... This is the thing. I didn't study.
Okay.
I didn't have a group, right? I was doing everything on my own. Then when I failed the first time, because one thing, and this is back to CCNA, when I passed the CCNA, 2 months before my exam, I used to have a colleague and he failed the CCNA, and he always was telling me, no, the Cisco will change your config. Cisco doesn't want you to pass. So he was quite negative. So
okay.
2 months or 1 month before the first attempt, I completely ignore YouTube, Google. I don't want to check any forum because, as you probably know, you will read that many people say that Cisco will reboot, will change your config during the break. Cisco doesn't want you to pass. So I'm nervous already. I don't want to go there like with the negative energy, right?
Yeah.
So I think I went there with a good action plan, but I think I failed doing some research prior to the exam. And then the second time I went there with more knowledge, of course, like because when I say more knowledge, like more experience, and because I already failed.
Yeah.
I knew already how was the environment. And I practiced few times in the CCIE Cisco practice.
You used
lab,
it. Okay. Thank
which
you.
I failed during the first attempt because I didn't use it.
Yes.
And I think candidates more use that, especially when you go for the first time, because that saves 30 minutes maybe.
A lot.
Or maybe more, because I missed 1 hour almost. Because I was like, and then you have 4 hours that you can practice the GUI at home, chill out with your tea, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you fail and you feel like you feel like you need to use the real environment, then you have the lab there. That maybe you can, if you remember what was the question, maybe you can reproduce that.
You learn the lesson. You learn the.
Yeah. And when I pass, I use it, and I think it really helped me. Helped me to pass.
So on the third attempt, so do you think was more something related with the technical skills? Like you already had the technical skills from the second and first attempt, but emotionally you were already ready. You were calm, like, I can do this.
About the second attempt, I only failed the section 3. I was quite frustrated because I passed all the sections. What happened when I failed the first time? I passed the third section. I didn't pass the second section. So during the preparation for the second attempt, I was more focused on the second section. What happened with that? That you need to pass, you need to get a good score, I will say. I don't want to break the Cisco NDA, so you need to have a good score in every section. You need to be good in each section. So I didn't pay too much attention and
then you
and I failed. And I was frustrated because during my first attempt, I feel like I did the same thing during the second attempt, and I got with the score that I got.
Okay.
During the first attempt, I
got
the number during the second attempt.
Okay. And then you improved this on the third attempt?
Yes, I improved this. This time I was really focused on improving the third attempt and checking Cisco Live, some GitHub repositories, and some DevNet courses. And I use DevNet also for automation. I recommend to use Cisco DevNet.
Okay.
You can use it. It's 24 hours, some of the sandboxes, so you don't need to even request or schedule anything. And of course, CCIE Practice Lab, because it's the same hardware release, same version, I would say, and it's really good. It's really good.
Okay, you got your CCIE, and now what changed in terms of roles? Because now you're not working anymore with voice, you're kind of in networking, IP, but I noticed that you've been working more with data center. What happened there?
Well, I think I told you at the beginning of this podcast, that Verizon moved us to HCL. And due to that, I moved to another company this year, which actually didn't meet my expectation. So I'm not doing actually the things that I really like, but luckily I found a job, and soon I will be doing again DC stuff, ACI stuff. I heard that I will be doing SD1, but not only focus on Cisco. And yes, I'm really looking forward.
Okay. Now,
yes.
Before we wrap up, if someone wanted to follow your path, like I want to get into IT, what would you recommend to this person?
In 2025, well, as we said, you need to have basic knowledge of networking. Nowadays, you don't need CCNA.
That's interesting. Why not?
No, but I didn't finish. But you need to have some really good automation skill.
Okay.
You need to understand, or you need to know how to integrate your networking skills with AI, because that's going to be fundamental.
Okay.
Especially during the next 2-3 years, or right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but you will see the outcome soon, maybe next year. As Dimitri, you had a podcast with him. I think data center is a must nowadays. So CCNA, you need to understand, you need to know about networking, right? But we are not in the doubt. Now we are multi-vendors. Cisco is still playing a key role in the market, but maybe you can be GNCA. I never did Juniper certification, so but I think there is
it's JN something CA.
Yeah. But I think you need to know, you need to really understand the CCNA blueprint, but maybe you don't need to pass the exam. Because remember, now you don't, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you can be CCNA without having passed, without having the CCNA, right?
You can become CCNP without CCNA.
CCNP, yeah. So you can maybe skip the CCNA, but start with CCNP. But I will say more focus on data center.
Okay. That's your take, not voice.
No, not voice. As Dimitri says, I think security. You need to be a hacker for that. But data center, artificial AI, automation, for sure.
Those are things that you believe, and one who's starting. This is what the market wants now. This is in high demand.
Yes, and automation is like implicit, like it's something that is embedded. You need to know automation, and you need to know AI, because now we need to be more efficient. So, and then with automation and AI, that those tools help you. Technology help you to reduce that time that you spend doing repetitive things, or to automate some basic troubleshooting, and maybe you will save 30, or I don't know, maybe more percent of the time based on your automation skills, and you will spend more like maybe creating or innovating or optimizing the network.